Hey, you doing, YouTube's Wolf Mill Development is my 449th weekly update. So, obviously, this week was a little bit of a funny week. I was on a little mini vacation. No, it was like a full blown vacation. Went down to the Keys. Actually, the first time I've ever been there. Even though I live and was born in Florida, it's the first time I've ever been there. So it was pretty cool. I'm experiencing that down there, and I was pretty good to myself in terms of not actually being bad. Didn't go too crazy with the food, tried to sort of stick to like one or two bad meals a day at the most. Did lots of walking here and there. I think well over like 12,000 steps every single day. So did pretty good there. Did manage to eke in a couple little mini workouts, not exactly every single day like I had planned or probably should have done. But still managed to do a little bit here and a little bit there. So I didn't feel completely terrible about myself or my trip. Which honestly, even when you're on vacation, it's not. Give yourself a little breathing room. If you're the kind of person that's gonna be sort of like what's the word I'm looking for, like a world class athlete or something like that, or you are a world class athlete, I'm sorry you're not gonna take a vacation or plan a vacation in the middle of a prep anyway. So it's one of those things where it's like, hey, try to enjoy yourself. It's more important. There's much more to life than lifting circles and rocks. So, um, you know, making sure that's not your entire identity is probably not a bad idea. And then got back in town Wednesday evening, and then Thursday I did go into the gym. Yesterday went into the gym and a lot of driving. Felt pretty tired. I slept okay Wednesday night, but I ended up just doing sort of a little upper body thing where I basically said, I'm going to do 10 dips and then go do a pull up. Then I'm going to do 10 more dips, do 2 pull ups. And I just did that up until I did 10 pull ups. So that's like 100 total dips. And then I don't even know how many pull ups it is, but it's, a decent amount for the day. Just something to sort of work myself into. And I knew something that wouldn't destroy me completely for today, which was my, birthday squats. Unfortunately, the scale at the gym was broken, so I just assumed I was 190. I don't even know if I actually am. I'll actually go weigh myself and find out. But I know I don't feel too heavy, and I know I wasn't that terrible, and I also don't feel or look that fat from the vacation. So I just assumed maybe 5 pounds over what I normally am. So I just did 190 for squats and deadlifts. Did not estimate how much the dips would just destroy my chest. And after the squats and deadlifts today, I was just like, cool. I'm not going to do the bench one today because that's probably just inviting myself to get some sort of injury. So I'm going to just skip that. I don't normally do the bench, honestly, or the deadlifts. Normally, I just do my birthday squats and call it, and I always try to go a little bit over whatever I was supposed to do. So, like when I was 27, I did 30 total reps. When I was 28, I think I did 31. 29, I think I did 30. And then this year, turning 30 today, um, I really wanted to get like 40. I had the number 50 in my head, and I remember when I did, I was warming up, and I really took my time with warm ups. And when I was doing just 175, I was just like, this feels fine. This feels good. I did like 3 in a row, and I was like, those feel pretty good. They feel great, actually. It doesn't feel heavy. And then I had the 190 on my back, and I got to like 5, and I was like, that's not good. This is a bad start. Like I should have been able to crank out like 9 in a row, no problem, in order to get to 50. I ended up hitting like 10 and like stood there breathing for quite a while, and ended up getting to 31 in one set. Which we basically the rule is like as long as you don't re-rack the bar, you can stand there with it on your back as long as you want. Um, as long as you don't re-rack it. So as long as that bar is on you in some capacity, that's still considered your set. Um, and man, I really wanted to get it to at least 40 would have been cool. Like I had 50 in my head, and I just got to 30, and I was like, oh my god, like why is this so much harder than it should be? Did 31, and I was like shaking. And then I re-racked the bar and kind of collapsed, and I was mad at myself, like instantly mad, because I'm like, you know what, you fucking gave up. You didn't fail. You gave up. because I'm like, man, you had at least 2 or 3 more reps, at least. And it just pissed me off so much. But, you know, I mean, I still did it, did everything in one set, plus one. And I always like to do at least one extra just to be like, hey, maybe if one was a little shy for depth, I did an extra one. So it sort of makes up for it, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, so I was very disappointed with myself on that one because I really feel like I quit. I didn't fail, I just quit. And I should have just tried to do one more. And if I failed, I failed, you know? Like, who cares? Especially, like, it's like, man, you got to 30. You got to 31. You're right there. Just keep going. And it's just, I don't know. That one will haunt me till next year when I'll have another chance to do what I've always wanted to do. And we'll see. Now, deadlifts, we've talked about it, and it was like, so what constitutes one set on a deadlift? And I sort of came up with a rule where I was like, what if the rule is you can stand and hold the bar as long as you want? But if you take any kind of time on the ground, that doesn't count. So in that vein, like touch and go deadlifts are fine, as long as both sides touch the ground, go right back up. And while you're standing, that's still considered a set because you still have to hold the bar for, you know, however long it takes you to do, however many reps you have to do. And pretty sure I have the gym record on that now at 30 reps at 190, which started out just double overhand, no straps. And it was like, I think I got to like 7 or 8. And they were easy. They're not, you know, 190 on a deadlift is nothing for me. And I was just like, oh, that was really stupid. Why'd you start out double overhand? And so I'm standing there and I'm holding it. I'm standing up and I'm like, my legs hurt from squats. My hamstrings are starting to hurt. And I'm just like, shit. And so while I'm standing there holding a double overhand, I basically toss the bar and then caught it, you know, with my left hand to hold it, you know, double over under, which I highly do not recommend. Just start with mixed grip. Don't do that. That was very stupid of me to try and do. And I did it, and then I ended up getting my God. I think 25 was where I was like, oh no, this is bad. And then 26, 27. I think 28 was where I screamed. 29 was another scream, and then I got my 30, and I don't think I've ever shaken that much on a deadlift. And if I have, it has been a lot of years since I have shaken like that on a deadlift. Got to my 30, put the bar down gently, didn't drop it from the top, put it down gently, well, gently adjacent, and then collapsed because, wow, that was a rough one. So I felt better about the deadlifts. I feel like I actually accomplished something on that. I think I'm the only person to have ever done that in the gym. So it's nice to hold that record, and then I guess next year we'll just try to get the squat ones. You know, I'm still doing fine in that I do more than I need to. But man, I really want to set like a rep record that's just ridiculous. And well, I've got a whole nother year to give it a shot. And I honestly, I think I'm not saying my game plan was bad leading up to it. Taking a week off like that probably was, it's tough to say if that was a good or bad idea. But honestly, I need to get back to just squatting a lot of weight because, you know, the 190 didn't feel heavy necessarily, at least for the first, you know, 4 or 5. But I know for a fact if I was still squatting in the mid 4s like I used to, you know, that would have been less than 50%. And it would have felt like nothing, absolutely nothing. It would have just been, I probably could have done a beltless, you know what I mean? So I need to, you know, I think I'm going to spend a lot of time getting that squat back up there and then beyond, which my squat has gotten a lot better over the years in terms of just how it looks, switching to high bar, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that over the next year. Definitely have a few like stupid volume days here and there because, man, that kind of pump you get from doing that many reps, like, wow, it just can't be described. So yeah, disappointed with squats, but I am every year. I don't think I've ever done a single year where I was happy with my performance on squats for birthday squats. But a little bit of redemption on the deadlifts. So yeah, that was cool. 30 reps in a row, never stopping at the bottom, always having to hold the bar the whole time. And I want to say at least 9 reps double overhand, uh, including switching in midair. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, so guess I'll look forward to next year, where maybe for the first time I won't disappoint myself on squats. Again, I'm only mad because I quit. That's the only reason I'm really mad at myself, because it's like, man, I should have just kept going till I failed. Should have just kept trying and trying. I had more to give. You know what I mean? And I just gave up. That's why I'm mad at myself. Yeah, so get that squat back up. I'm starting new programming next week. Finally have my training partner back, because him and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start training with you again. I need it. And he needs me too, because he's got to work on Farmer's Hold. And I'm pretty good at that. So we're going to be working on that. And a lot of other stuff. And hopefully push each other to new heights together. And, it's not over. I've never quit completely. And I guess that's what they say, right? You only fail if you quit. So, I mean, I did fail today. But a little bit of redemption on the second one. So, it is what it is. I have next year. And I'll really work hard to get to it next year and do better next year. And hopefully not disappoint myself next year. So 365 days to make it happen. So, yeah. It's okay to fail. It's okay. No, that's it. It's okay to fail. It's not okay to quit, which is why I'm mad. But it's definitely not okay to completely give up, which I haven't done yet. So if you completely give up, that's the lesson of the week. Don't completely give up, which I haven't yet. If you do, then what's your excuse?